Hello, my friends. How are ya? Hiker Dave NE here. I hope everyone's doing well. Some crazy weather we're having up here in New Hampshire. I'll hike in any weather, except for two. There's two occasions where I don't like to go out into the woods. One is oppressive heat, and the other is like today, high winds. High winds freak me out. I don't want to get crushed by a tree limb, so I kind of stay out of the woods in those two specific conditions. Anyways, I want to talk about some comments, and nothing bad or nothing like that. I did a video on the 1976 film Legend of Bigfoot. I showed a couple clips. One was a Russian, supposedly they captured a Bigfoot. It was in a cage. And then I showed the other clip from the Legend of Bigfoot, an old movie. I love those old, terrible movies. It was more like a documentary, though. And I got a bunch of comments about that. And then I put out the video of the taboo subject, that nobody wants to talk about. And I referenced Mike Patterson's channel, Sasquatch Ontario. And I had been watching his videos for a couple of years. I mean, I'm new to YouTube. I only discovered it probably 6 years ago or something. So, I mean, it's been around a long time. I just had realized 5 or 6 years ago that instead of watching YouTube on a handheld on my phone, my son taught me, you can cast it to the TV. And so you can sit there and play it and put your phone down and you can watch it on TV. And that's generally how I consume my YouTube videos. So that being said, when I first started watching YouTube, I would see stuff on YouTube. I'm like, my goodness, I can't believe I'm seeing this, right? I mean, this can't be real. Is this real? And on this platform, you really can do and say anything you want within reason, of course, within the parameters of YouTube's bylaws. And you can give your opinions, and as crazy as they may be, and people can either choose to believe that or dismiss it. So when I was watching that channel, Sasquatch Ontario, there was a lot going on. I was really impressed with the prints he would find in the snow. It just seemed so realistic to me. I'm not saying it is or it isn't. That's kind of what this video is kind of about. That when you watch his videos, you can choose to believe what he's saying. Like, it reminds me of one of my favorite quotes from Edgar Allan Poe, and I think it was like 1845. He said, believe half of what you see and nothing of what you read. And I always love that comment because it's true. I mean, seeing is believing. And that quote couldn't ring more true when it comes to this subject of Bigfoot. So I would see, back in my early days, I would see videos of Bigfoot on YouTube and be like, wow, man, all these people are capturing these Bigfoot creatures out in the woods, and they're getting video of them and these pictures and photos and stuff like that. Now, so when it comes to, say, for instance, eyewitness accounts, it's really up to the listener to believe the person that's telling the account of what happened to them. And there are many, many people out there that really genuinely believe what they saw was Bigfoot. And I believe that. I'm not a gullible person, but maybe I trust, a little too trustworthy at times, I'll say. And, trust is tough to gain. It takes a long time to get people to trust. And it only takes a second, a flash, a moment to lose that trust. And so I was watching these videos, and this gentleman, Mike Patterson, was talking about all kinds of stuff. I mean, some really deep stuff. And so, it's my choice whether I want to believe that what this guy is saying is factual or not, or what he thinks is factual. And so I kind of pick and choose out of his videos and stuff what I think is plausible and it's possible and whatever. It doesn't take much to be swayed, in with this subject of Sasquatch especially, but it doesn't take much to be swayed one way or the other on something that you could be so convinced about, and then watch another video 10 minutes later and be completely unconvinced of what you just was sure is probably the most likely thing. I'm not sure what word I'm looking for, but you know, I've watched videos where I think that's this person videos something. It could be anything, and it's so realistic that it's like, wow, I can't believe more people aren't talking about this. Then, you know, come to find out that this was an image superimposed in a video or photoshopped or something like that. So even what your eyes see can be questioned. So when it comes down to this, what I'm getting at is I was sent a link by a gentleman that me and him message each other on Messenger on Facebook. I'm not going to say his name because I didn't ask him for permission, so I'll leave his name out. But he commented when I made that video about Sasquatch, Ontario, and he sent me a link, a really, really interesting link that, again, just proves to me that you just can't believe anything. I'm like, now I'm so jaded to that. If everything can't be fake. If you tell me that on YouTube, the only real video of Sasquatch is the Patterson Gimlin film, I'm going to disagree. There's got to be more to it than that. Some photos of Sasquatch on YouTube's, you know, maybe 80% of them are junk and they're faked or misidentified. But there is that handful. There's got to be more than that out there. But so going back to this gentleman that sent me this link, I want to talk about that with you guys. I want you to check it out because the comments that I got on that video were almost split down the middle 50-50, where there are people that are right on board with what Sasquatch Ontario is and his channel and what they're doing over there or what's happening to them over there. And then the other half in another camp of just this guy is just nothing but a fake and a liar. So the link is, I don't know how to copy and paste. I'll learn, I promise, but I don't, but I will tell you, and I'll put it down below here. It's called squatchdetective.weebly.com Hall of Shame. And the link that he sent me is kind of like a dedicated link on this guy's page that completely debunks what's going on over there with Sasquatch Ontario and what Mike Patterson and his partner are doing over there. And I don't believe anything anymore. I just don't. I now don't believe Mike Patterson, and who knows if this Weebly.com, if I believe that. I am like getting so frustrated with the crap that's being slung around that it just makes your head spin, or it does for me. It makes my head spin. I don't know anymore. I just don't know anymore. And, you know, what this community is trying to do is, I guess, or what I do with my channel, I try to promote just awareness anyways, right? And I want answers. I have so many questions, and I'd like to have those questions answered, and I'm going to answer them on my own. You know, if a YouTube channel comes out and has definitive proof on migratory habits of Bigfoot, well, I'll be the judge of that. I'll go out and I'll find out myself and get my own proof, because nothing is real anymore. And it's sad. It saddens me. I mean, I won't stop watching YouTube videos of Bigfoot and alleged videos of Bigfoot. And, I still will keep my mind open to everything. But it frustrates me that nobody can come out with a video that isn't completely jumped on by the entire community and just said, no way, that's too clear, or nope, there it is, blob squatch again. Or you can't have a video where people aren't saying, nope, that's completely fake. What are we supposed to do? What is the alternative? And I know the answer to that. Even as I say it, I know that it's a body. It's to have a carcass of a Bigfoot. And it made me realize I can't do enough research on any subject to make a video standing in my barn or whatever and say, hey, check out this video clip. either I spend all my days on my laptop researching a video clip or a story or an encounter, or I actually go out and explore on my own. I am not going to spend hours and hours and hours on my laptop because I want to make a little video about, say, for instance, Sasquatch, Ontario. I should have. I guess, you know, why do I even talk about these things? It frustrates me a little bit. I won't stop. I'm not going to change my method on how I run my channel. It's my channel. And, you know, I do understand I want viewers that watch my videos. I love the input. I like the references that I get and stuff like that. And I check them out. When someone says, hey, Dave, check out this video or check out this channel, I'm pretty good about checking it out if I have the time to do so. So when I do these little hit and run videos like in my barn and I talk about a subject here and there, I do the best I can with my research. If I did a video, I talked about like deforestation or the amount of forested lands in the United States. I'll reference something, Wikipedia. I try to reference something so the number I put out isn't just me making up a number. I haven't got comments on that when I was talking about the acreage of forest land in the United States. And I had some comments saying, that's way off. That's a lie. And I'm thinking, what? What are you talking about? Like, and that's okay. I appreciate that. And call me out on stuff. And I don't mind that it happens on every single video, something I say or a reference to a certain fact that I think is a fact. Always somebody will come to my video and say, nope, that's wrong. And that's cool. I appreciate that because then I can go to that and then try to reference what that person is talking about. And I get it. But after I put out the video of the Ontario Sasquatch and his channel and talking about some of the stuff is just really cool. The thought of it would be awesome if it was, hey, perhaps it's real. Maybe they're interdimensional. Who knows? You don't know. I don't know. Nobody really knows for sure. And it made me feel like I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not putting out these little clips and say, hey, what do you guys think? Because I do get some feedback with people like, Dave, what's wrong with you? I thought you were smarter than that. That is obviously a fake clip of Bigfoot or a fake picture, or I'll often get, Dave, everybody knows that was debunked years ago. I'm sorry. I didn't know that. I don't have the time to do the research and go back. And in my own head, I'm going, well, then don't make the video at all then, right? Because I don't want to look a fool. I don't want people to say, listen, this guy's just putting out videos and he doesn't know what he's talking about. To that, I will say, mostly, I don't know what I'm talking about. And I just like the feedback back and forth. And that's why I make those little barn videos or something like that where I'll talk about something that I'm interested in that day, right? And I love the feedback back and forth. But some people are really, really touchy and they get like, Dave, you're way off and this and that. Listen, I get it. I maybe don't do enough research on some of this stuff, but I have to say that a lot of these things that I do speak about, you don't know if that's real or not. My eyes can look at that gimpy Sasquatch from the 1976 legend of Bigfoot. My eyes looked at that and said, that's silly. It just seems silly. But of course, in the back of your mind, like, hey, maybe that thing's got lupus or whatever was going on. I wasn't there when they faked the video, and neither were you. My opinion on it, I think that that video was just a reenactment. I don't think that is not footage of a Sasquatch. But I don't know that. And neither do you. Nobody does. I mean, you could see stuff that's obviously faked. I can understand that, and I appreciate it. So when I'm sent a link like that from this gentleman, and then I go and I look at this stuff, I'm like, if this is to be true, this, the heck was the name of it? Forgive me. SquatchDetective.weebly.com, Hall of Shame. This guy, Mike Patterson, he does make it seem like he's kind of in the middle of nowhere, up in the Canadian wilderness. And if this Weebly.com thing is true, he's like in this neighborhood with a bunch of cabins. This house is right to his left, right. He's in a neighborhood. He's not at all. It seems to he portrays like he's remote, and it isn't so. And so then I'm like, oh wow, that whole thing is fake. Man, am I stupid? So I just watched that one clip, that one reference, and right away I went from I liked the channel, pretty cool stuff, to what an asshat. I can't believe that he just pulled the wool over everybody's eyes. And everything comes down to motive. And I thought right away, why would this guy do this? Why? He's not famous, he's not rich, or he's not getting rich from it, or maybe he is making money from it. I don't know, but it has to all come down somehow, and it always, always does, to money. The root of all evil really is money. And that frustrates me because I'm not saying I fell for it, but I really was enjoying that little ride that for like 7-8 years or something. He had all kinds of stuff going on, and he's got these Sasquatch talking to him and calling him by his first name. And then now if you go and you listen to that Weebly.com, the audio of the Sasquatch was all fabricated by the owner of this cabin. I'm like, come on. See, then I'm just fogged up with overload of information. And I believe for me, that bogs me down. That overload of information. It's like not being able to see the forest through the trees, right? And I think that overload of information, I think for those that, there are those that want it that way, that keep on spreading misinformation and put it out there and just murky the waters, right? So we can't see clearly. At least for me, that's what I think. I'm not saying, I have no proof of that either. But to be stuck in the quagmire of, is this real? Is that real? Why is that blurry? Is this person telling the truth of an eyewitness account or this and that? Listen, I want to push aside all that crap and try to get back to the meat and bones of, listen, Sasquatch is real. They're out there. They're real. I really think that people are seeing something. Call it whatever you may, whatever these beings are. That to be weighed down by trying to sift through what's real and what's not, I think that I miss, or I take my eyes off the prize, so to speak. I'm not looking for footage to get footage of Sasquatch. That is not why I go exploring. I love seeing stuff out in the forest, but I think that is an issue with a lot of people, not just in the Sasquatch community, but people in general with this subject. There's so much attached to it that it's so cloudy that you just forget it. I mean, it just turns people off to the subject. And I don't blame people when they get so frustrated that it's just too much to take. It really is a fantastic strategy if you think about it. There are groups out there that would like to keep this subject or keep the existence of Bigfoot under wraps. What a great, great way to do it. I mean, information overload. That way you really can't have, there's nothing definitive and there's nothing you can really put your finger on, and just keep on throwing more stuff at the subject and just make it so difficult to sift through, the junk, that you really can't focus on what's real. So the next real footage of a Sasquatch that gets put out there, you can guarantee no one's going to believe it. And these groups out there that are trying to suppress the information with overload of false information, I hope you're happy, because it seems to have worked. So, I mean, I guess that remains to be seen. We'll see. But no matter how high quality the video is, it's going to be too clear or it'll be too convenient. And there'll always be somebody that's going to say, no, that's not real. Even if you've got a real quality video, such as the Patterson Gimlin film, I'm totally on board with that is a real Bigfoot. Even now, people say, nope, that's not it. So your Bigfoot's either blurry or it's dead clear. Either way, it's too much something, too much of a coincidence. There's no way you were in the right spot at the right time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. I won't stop what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. I love having the channel. I love the feedback, the comments, and all that stuff. And I think that's going to be the end of my rant. But really, I do think a lot of you guys that watch this video can understand where I'm coming from, and maybe will agree with me that it really, at this point, too many people have cried wolf. That when it does come down to it, and the footage is authentic, that there'll be thousands of people to say, no, that's not real. And that, to me, is a shame. It really is. Anyways, guys, I really do appreciate you coming by to check out the video, and I'll definitely see you guys on the next one.